Can music soothe a storm? Can a melody calm the raging sea? Can a simple tune offer solace in the darkest of nights? In the vast expanse of the ocean, where the wind howls and waves crash, there lived a lighthouse keeper named Elias, a man who believed in the extraordinary power of music. He lived a solitary life, his only companions the crashing waves and the cries of gulls. But every night, as darkness descended upon the vast ocean, Elias would unleash a symphony of hope, a beacon of comfort for lost souls at sea. Elias lived on a small windswept island miles from the mainland. His home, a sturdy cottage attached to the base of the lighthouse, was his sanctuary. Life on the island was simple, governed by the rhythm of the sea and the sky. Days were filled with routine tasks, maintaining the lighthouse, preparing meals, and gazing out at the endless horizon. He missed the warmth of human interaction, the comfort of shared laughter and stories. Yet he found solace in his solitude, in the quiet companionship of the sea. The lighthouse was more than just his dwelling, it was his purpose and his sanctuary. Every evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Elias would climb the spiral staircase to the lamp room. He would meticulously clean the lenses, ensuring its brilliant beam cut through the darkness of the night. But it was afterwards, in the quiet solitude of his cottage, that Elias truly came alive and found peace. An old, slightly out-of-tune piano sat by the window, a gift from his grandfather, a reminder of a life left behind. Each night, Elias would play, losing himself in the music. His fingers would dance across the keys, filling the small cottage with a warm, comforting sound. He played for the sailors battling the turbulent seas, guiding them. He played for those who yearned for the warmth of home and the embrace of loved ones. He played for himself, pouring his hopes and dreams into every note, every melody. One night, a fierce storm descended upon the island. The sky was a canvas of dark, swirling clouds, illuminated sporadically by flashes of lightning. Thunder rumbled ominously, shaking the very ground beneath. The wind howled like a banshee, and the waves crashed against the rocks with a deafening roar. Nature's fury was on full display, a relentless assault on the senses. Rain lashed against the windows, blurring the world outside. Each drop seemed to carry the weight of the storm, pounding relentlessly as if trying to break through. Fear gripped the hearts of even the most seasoned sailors. They had faced many storms, but this one felt different, more menacing, as if the sea itself was angry. Elias, his face etched with concern, knew this was a storm like no other. He had seen many tempests, but the intensity of this one was unparalleled. The lighthouse, his beacon of hope, stood defiant against the fury of nature. Its light cut through the darkness, a solitary guardian against the chaos. But Elias felt a pull, a need to do more. The storm outside mirrored the turmoil within him, a battle between fear and determination. He sat at his piano, his fingers trembling slightly. The keys felt cold under his touch, but he knew he had to play, to find solace in the music. Doubt whispered in his ear. It was a persistent voice questioning his resolve, his ability to make a difference. What good is music against a storm like this? It hissed. The question lingered, casting a shadow over his heart. But Elias pushed the doubt aside. He knew that music had a power beyond the physical, a way to touch the soul and bring light to the darkest of times. Music was his solace, his strength. He began to play. The first notes were soft, almost hesitant, but they carried a promise of something more. The notes, at first hesitant, grew in strength and conviction. Each chord resonated with his emotions, a blend of hope, fear, and defiance. He poured all his hope, all his fear into the music, creating a symphony of defiance against the raging storm. The storm outside raged on, but within the walls of his home, a different kind of storm was brewing, a storm of resilience and unwavering spirit. The music, carried on the wind, traveled farther than it ever had before, It was as if the island itself had decided to share its hidden symphony with the world beyond its shores. The notes, delicate yet powerful, danced through the air, weaving a tapestry of sound that defied the storm's fury. It wove its way through the howling wind, the crashing waves, reaching out to the storm-tossed ships, the frightened villagers on the distant mainland. The music seemed to have a life of its own, a purpose that transcended the chaos of the storm. It was a beacon of hope, a reminder of beauty amidst the turmoil. In the heart of the storm, battered and bruised, a lone fisherman clung to his mast. The waves threatened to swallow him whole, and the wind tore at his clothes and skin. He had faced many storms before, but this one felt different. It was as if the sea itself was angry, determined to claim him as its own. Despair threatened to engulf him. He could feel his strength waning, his hope slipping away with each passing moment. The darkness of the night seemed to close in around him, and he wondered if he would ever see the light of day again. Then, faintly, over the roar of the storm, he heard it, a piano melody filled with longing and hope. The notes were like a lifeline, pulling him back from the brink of despair. He closed his eyes and let the music wash over him, filling him with a renewed sense of purpose. A group of children huddled in an attic, listening to the storm rage outside. The wind howled like a wild beast, and the walls of the old house creaked and groaned under the strain. The children clung to each other, their faces pale with fear. They had heard stories of ships lost at sea, of fishermen who never returned. The sound of their father's fishing boat being tossed about filled them with terror. They could almost see the waves crashing over the deck, the boat being thrown about like a toy in the hands of a giant. They prayed for his safety, their hearts heavy with worry. Then, through the cracks in the walls, a melody seeped in, calming their racing hearts. The music was like a gentle whisper, a promise that everything would be all right. The children listened in awe, their fear slowly melting away, replaced by a sense of wonder. An old woman lay awake in her bed, her heart heavy with worry for her son, lost at sea years ago. The storm always brought back the pain, the memories of that fateful night when he had set sail and never returned. She had spent countless nights like this, staring at the ceiling, her mind filled with what-ifs and regrets. The storm always brought back the pain. The sound of the wind and the rain was like a cruel reminder of her loss, a wound that never fully healed. She could feel the tears welling up in her eyes, the ache in her chest growing stronger with each passing moment. But tonight, something was different. Amidst the storm's fury, she heard a melody, soft and haunting. It was a song she had never heard before, yet it felt familiar, like a distant memory. The music seemed to wrap around her, soothing her pain, replacing it with a strange sense of peace. A haunting melody filled the air, soothing her pain, replacing it with a strange sense of peace. She closed her eyes and let the music carry her away, her heart feeling lighter than it had in years. The storm outside raged on, but inside she felt a calm she had long forgotten. The music had escaped the island, and in doing so, it had touched the hearts of those who needed it most. When the storm finally subsided, the sun rose on a world washed clean. The sky, once dark and menacing, now painted in hues of pink and gold, signaled a new beginning. The ocean, which had roared with fury, now lay calm and serene, reflecting the morning light like a mirror. It was as if nature itself had taken a deep breath, ready to start anew. The air was fresh, the sea calm, as if the storm had never been. The gentle waves lapped against the shore, whispering secrets of the deep. The scent of salt and seaweed filled the air, a reminder of the ocean's timeless presence. It was a moment of peace, a rare gift after the chaos. Elias, exhausted but content, continued his routine. Each day, he climbed the winding stairs of the lighthouse, his footsteps echoing in the silence. He would gaze out at the horizon, watching for ships in need of guidance. His heart, though weary, was filled with a quiet satisfaction. He had weathered the storm, and now, he was ready to face whatever came next. Then, a few weeks later, something extraordinary happened. A letter arrived, carried by the postman, who rarely had reason to visit the isolated lighthouse. Elias, curious and a bit puzzled, took the envelope with trembling hands. It was addressed to the Lighthouse Keeper who plays the piano, a title that brought a smile to his face. He received a letter, addressed to the Lighthouse Keeper who plays the piano. The handwriting was neat, the words carefully chosen. It was a message from a stranger, yet it felt deeply personal. Elias sat down at his wooden table, the letter trembling slightly in his hands as he began to read. The letter was from the fisherman who had clung to his mast, certain he wouldn't see another sunrise. He described the terror of the storm, the relentless waves, and the howling wind. But amidst the chaos, he had heard the faint strains of piano music, a melody that seemed to cut through the darkness and despair. The man wrote of the music that had reached him in his darkest hour, giving him the will to hold on, the strength to believe in rescue. More letters followed. Each one was a testament to the power of music, to its ability to touch hearts and souls even in the most dire of circumstances. Each one told a story of hope rekindled, of fear soothed, of lives touched by the music from the lighthouse. There were letters from sailors who had found solace in the melodies, from families who had been reunited, and from individuals who had found the courage to face their own storms. The children who had huddled in the attic, their fear replaced by awe. They wrote of how the music had transformed their terror into wonder, how the notes had painted pictures of hope in their minds. They spoke of dreams inspired by the melodies, of a newfound belief in the magic of the world. The old woman, her heart filled with a strange sense of comfort, as if her son was singing a lullaby just for her. She wrote of the nights she spent listening to the piano, feeling a connection to a world beyond her own. The music had become a bridge, linking her to memories and dreams, to a sense of peace she had long thought lost. A song for the soul, a light for the world. The letters, tangible proof of the power of his music, overwhelmed Elias. He had always played for solace, for a connection to the world he had left behind. He had never imagined that his music would have such a profound impact on others. The isolation he had felt for so long began to melt away. He realized that even in his solitude, he was connected to something much larger than himself. The enduring symphony of hope. Elias continued to play every night, his music now infused with a newfound purpose. He played for the storm-tossed sailors, for the fearful, for the lonely, for anyone who might need a beacon of hope in the darkness. He knew with a certainty that resonated deep within his soul that his music was a lifeline, a bridge connecting him to the hearts of strangers across the vast sea. The power of one, the strength of many. The story of Elias, the lighthouse keeper who played the piano, is a powerful reminder that even in solitude, we are all connected. It highlights the extraordinary power of a single act of kindness, of hope offered through music. It teaches us that even the smallest act of compassion can ripple outwards, touching lives in ways we may never fully comprehend. What song will you share? So the next time you face a storm, remember Elias and his music. Remember that you too have the power to be a beacon of hope. What song will you share with the world?